Is Walt Disney World still enjoyable under current COVID restrictions?
All that and more on this episode of My Disney Addiction podcast. All right.
Oh, yeah.
What up, guys?
Hey, my fellow Disney addicts. How are you today?
Woot, 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 as it were.
As it were. Yes.
Yeah.
Salutations.
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Yes, we're back. Chris is back with me for another episode.
Yes. It's weird. You got a lot of views on the last episode.
Did I?
Yeah, you were.
I haven't checked.
You were at like 45 views when it was just you. Maybe it's me that's the problem. Maybe people don't like me. I don't know.
Maybe it's just something so different.
Maybe we should just go back to podcasting and not do video.
Yeah, just the audio, just our voices.
I don't know. Maybe we should do that. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
We do have faces for radio, so.
We do. I definitely do. You have the nice chiseled features of the chin. You got the nice.
This can cut glass, folks.
Yeah, and then there's me all scraggly and all old man and receding hairline and thinning out.
Hey, it's still jet black.
No, there's a white hair.
Really?
One single white hair.
I don't know if that's just the glisten
there should
of
be
your
a white hair that's
your highly beard polished beard, or
I don't know.
I don't know, but for me it looks jet black.
Oh well, it is black. I have black hair.
I can only dream of a beard as good as what you put on.
Yeah, I'm gonna grow it out. I'm gonna make this sucker real big.
That'll look great under a COVID mask. It's just swaying in the breeze.
I've seen some guys out there they're put on a COVID mask and the beard's down here, and I'm just yes, yes.
Right.
All right, you guys. Before we talk about anything today, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe down below. It takes 2 seconds. Quick, just hit the like button and subscribe. That's it.
1,000 to 1,000. There.
All right, boom goes dynamite.
Thank you so much.
Guys, do want to let you know some changes are going to be coming to the My Disney Addiction podcast YouTube channel.
Posting schedule, things like that.
Yeah. I'm actually going back to school, getting myself an education.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's going to be taking up a lot of my time during the week, on top of having a family, a job, multiple other things that I'm involved in. So we are going to be cutting back how often we are going to be presenting material. So that'll mean we're going to be going back to essentially what's going to turn into maybe twice a month or every other week. We'll have to take a look and see how that is.
Yes, but we're still going to be giving you just as quality content, though.
Exactly.
So please stay subscribed, stay eager, because we're excited for all the new stuff that we're going to bring to you this year.
Exactly. I'm trying to talk with my sister-in-law. She's trying to do, because it's, once again, my schedule is packed as it is before I even started doing school. So she's trying to do the videos for the cooking stuff on her own. So we will see how that goes. We're going to try what we can. We're doing the best we can. So we thank you so much for being so understanding at what we do.
Yes.
Maybe we might have to, I don't know if we should stick to half-an-hour episodes, but since we're only doing it twice a month, should we just go back to doing hour-long episodes?
Yeah. Again, it depends on the format, what we're going to talk about.
Theoretically, though, if we're already doing an hour format, we might as well just make them 4 episodes, right?
Right, I know.
But
that's a good point.
But yeah, we're going to go back. We're just going to go to twice a month for now. If things start changing and the workload, school load isn't too much on top of work and everything else in my life, we might go back to every week. So, but as of now, this is kind of where we're at, just part of doing life in a podcast. Because until, our subscribers get to, tons of amounts, we get tons of likes, and we're getting 1 million likes on each episode, and, YouTube can pay us just to do this, and you guys can help us just do this as a business, go down to Disney, do stuff, create content. If we could do that as a full-time gig,
yes.
I would love to do that.
That would be amazing. I know. We would love to share that with you. So help us grow this podcast.
I would even like to create our own travel agency. I think that would be super cool. That'd be so much fun on top of making
Disney Addiction
content.
Travel. I mean, it
Yeah,
has such a ring to it.
MDA travel. Let's do it.
Let's make it happen, folks.
All right, what's
and
up?
you can help us do that.
There we go. All right, you guys. We are going to jump into the discussion
I'm excited.
for today. We have Gregor.
Oui, c'est moi.
Is going to be discussing his most recent trip to Disney.
Who are you trying to be, monsieur?
And I'm just American.
Gotcha.
I don't know. Yeah, so you were just down at
Oh,
Disney
man.
with the fam. Greg just released an episode last week. No, that wasn't a super long, in-depth thing. It was just kind of
No.
like a small recap, right?
It was a super brief one, just to let you know my initial thoughts and what I took away from the vacation. Of course, I love speaking with with you, so that's why I sort of wanted to save some of the juicier stuff
Ooh,
for a podcast
juicy.
together. It's very juicy. It's slimy yet satisfying.
See what you did there?
Yes.
Try that gray stuff. It's delicious.
Don't believe us? Well,
You should ask the dishes.
I was gonna say, ask the.
You have a whole bunch of dishes there that actually need to be cleaned up. You and Allison had,
I
what was
do.
that? Beef bourguignon?
Beef stroganoff.
Stroganoff.
Yes, one of my favorite winter dishes. It
Mm.
warmed my belly up. It was great.
Beef is just good. You put it with a little bit of pasta, right?
Yeah, egg noodles. Wide, extra wide egg noodles.
Yeah.
Garlic salt,
Dude, I'm all up on that.
some broccoli Normandy on the side,
Yeah,
and
they-
lefse. Gotta make it a little Scandinavian. Have you ever had lefse?
I've never had.
It's like flattened potato.
I can honestly say I've never left any kind of that stuff on my plate.
Oh.
Never been left sus.
Here we go. We're just one after the other with.
That one
puns
really
tonight.
didn't work that well.
Well, you made it work. I
I
understood where you're
tried.
going.
You got where I was going on far.
Yes. I got
But
it.
I do thank you for the invite to dinner tonight. It was greatly appreciated.
Least I could not do.
Unfortunately, we were not able to make it tonight, but next time you
Next
will
time.
give me that invite.
Well,
But you want to know what I think it is, actually, people? I'll tell you what I think it is. It's Allison.
No, it's not. Here we go again. You hating on Allison, wanting to kill her, wanting to say that she's the reason why you're not over.
When we do our when we
oy.
do the double date, slip in a little bit of something, kill her.
No. Extract of llama. Instead
Extract
of
of llama.
poison. Yeah. Isn't that what Yzma? He's like, this isn't poison, Kronk. This is extract of llama.
I don't think she said it was extract of llama.
Really? What is it then?
I don't know what it is.
It has to be.
It can't be extract. Of
Yeah,
llama.
it is. It's like essence of llama. It's what
I don't
made
know.
it. Because extract is what it's like. Vanilla extract. It's liquid. It's liquid form.
I don't think
We're
it's
looking this
extract. It's not extract of llama.
Yes, it is.
Could it be extract?
Pulling up Disney Plus, putting on the subtitles. I don't know.
I don't know what you mean. Okay, so we're gonna talk about Greg's most recent trip. He went on a trip with his family, but I think he really wants to figure this out.
I'm determined here. Yzma's extract of llama cocktail recipe. See, Yzma, this isn't poison. This is extract of llama. So this could be, right from quotes.net.
Ah, okay. All right.
I don't know how reliable quotes.net is, but after this episode, I'm going on Disney Plus. I'm gonna screenshot it with the subtitles and send it over to Chris.
That's what's up. I'm down for that.
Even if I'm wrong, I'm still gonna do it.
Oh, okay. All right. So, Greg.
Yes.
When did you go on your vacation?
This was during the
Most
week.
recent one.
Yeah, January 9th to the 16th.
Okay, so
Yes.
the COVID restrictions were definitely still in place.
Still in place.
So now let's kind of talk here.
Yes, let's break it down.
I mean, I know kind of how you guys do things. You've kind of discussed it on the podcast before about how your family does Disney.
Yeah.
What did you find different this time? Obviously, with the COVID restrictions. What were the restrictions? How did it affect doing the parks, doing restaurants,
Right.
well, you don't do restaurants. Doing
Rub it in.
shopping.
Yeah.
What were they? What was it like? Did it completely negatively affect your trip? Was it meh? Not really anything that bad?
Sure. The first thing that I noticed was the crowd levels.
Oh.
Because pre-COVID, I was just expecting it to be tightly packed.
Yeah.
Reaching park capacity 100%, not even halfway through the day. Like, insanely busy.
Yeah.
So when we went, it was almost like straight out of a dream. Because I was texting you this park capacity was set at 35%, and Disney parks were not even hitting that. They were probably hitting 15%. So just imagine you walking
you don't
down
know
Main
that.
Street.
You don't know that.
Yeah, but like what? Maybe I was gauging it. I don't know. But like it was just the reason why I had it so low was because it seemed like no one was there.
Well, it's
It
probably
was
30,
so spacious.
but it's 35% spread out over the whole park.
Right.
So it may have seemed like 15%.
Maybe, but they weren't like turning people away. So that's why I know that they weren't reaching like their
The
COVID
35%.
capacity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, remember they also can't park hop now. Well,
They can.
They can now, but
can,
you still have to order your first. You have to preset your first park.
Yeah. So that's the thing as well.
So
It's
that may have lessened
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
effect.
So that's a good point because it's even more toward like planning your vacation out to a more nth degree where you have to make sure you get park tickets, even if you're annual pass holders, DVCs, and you have to snag park reservations. Now that means that let's say you want to go to Hollywood Studios on Monday, you have to make sure that there is enough space for you to reserve your time in Hollywood Studios. And then, I don't know when Disney instituted this, I think it was January 1st, but after 2 p.m., you can park hop to any park you want.
I think.
So that is what was
No, I think
the
it's.
thing
I think it's
in-
different, isn't it? Because you have to go to the first one,
Yeah,
then you can park hop to the second one, but you have to determine what that second one is.
no.
And I thought it was after that, after 2 p.m., you can go anywhere.
No, well, what I heard and how my Disney Experience app was like sort of teaching us
Yeah.
is basically quick side tangent. When we're in the parks, like every 5 minutes, some cast member over the speakers was like, okay, remember to maintain physical distancing.
Yeah.
You can only not wear a mask when you're eating or drinking while stationary. So you can't like walk and drink. But I sort of did it a couple times, didn't get yelled at, but I mean, every 5 minutes, that reminder would be just blasted throughout the parks.
That's the dumbest thing. Like, I'm sorry, that's so dumb. So for me to take a sip of water, I have to stop where I'm standing,
Yeah.
take a drink, and then walk.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm initially not that talented. Like, I always seem to either choke on my water if I walk while drinking.
The guy skis, plays music, does art, writes books.
Isn't that funny?
Like, yeah, you're not talented.
I'm a klutz when it comes to that. Like my drinking capabilities
Skiing,
are slightly.
but apparently he's a klutz.
Yeah. Like I cannot drink and walk without coughing or like having it go down a different pipe to save my life. So I have to stop. So it's fine for me. It's just really weird.
That's something that you learn when you're like 2.
I just never got a hold of it. I can't do it.
My 1-year-old knows how to do that.
Well, you know what? She is winning life more than I am in that regard.
I don't know.
It
if
doesn't
that's-
feel right.
I don't know if that's winning life as opposed to just
Being a human,
doing
and
life.
just like
you
being
should
alive.
be able to do that.
I
People-
can't.
Seriously?
Yeah, like it's something.
So if I
where
told you
it's
to walk
almost
from there
debilitating.
to that end of the room, drinking water, could you do it?
I would like severely slow down to where it's like I'm cheating to where it's like okay, I take a sip and then I move a little.
Like you cognitively
Yeah.
and consciously have to think.
It's like an
I'm
impediment.
taking a step and I have to drink. It's like
Yeah.
wow.
I think the biggest thing is the fear
I just
that.
did it. Owen Wilson. Wow.
Wow. I think the biggest thing is the fear of like the water sloshing, hitting the back of the bottle, and then coming back and just like smacking me in the face. Because
You
like
realize
as I'm
this is-
walking, like
You realize it's a bottle of water and it's not a boot, right?
yeah, I don't know. It's just this weird.
Do you know how a boot works?
a boot?
A boot.
Like what you wear on your feet?
No, like the German big glass boot that you have to drink.
okay.
beer out.
Yeah, now I know.
So like with that, you can drink it like this way.
Is it with like the
with the toes
up?
sticking up? You can do that.
'cause that would be a little.
You can do that.
Okay.
But then eventually what happens is an air bubble gets caught, and if you don't turn it at the right time, the water pressure and the air bubble will force it out and like essentially hit you in the face.
Well, that sounds dangerous, and I do not want to drink out of a boot. No.
Yeah, but it's one of those things I'm like, you're talking about a bottle of water and not something like that.
It's happened in the past. I don't know if it's an irrational fear of mine. That's why I have to.
It's completely irrational.
You know,
I've never met a person who was like, you know what I struggle with? I struggle with walking and drinking water at the same time.
There.
I don't get it.
Now you've met me. Your life is complete.
You know what? As long as I've known you, I don't think I've ever seen you walk and drink water.
No, I know.
I've seen you like take a drink and then cover it up before we start walking.
Yep.
Or after. Or when we're stationary. Yeah. What?
See?
What?
Yeah.
I'm really trying to think in my brain now.
Yeah.
I can't think of a time.
See, I don't like to drink while walking, and I just simply can't because of that irrational fear.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that's a thing.
Please, anyone, let me know if you suffer from this fear
Nobody
as well.
suffers from it. Nobody's going to comment
I'm very
on it.
interested.
No, there's not going to be a single person who's going to suffer from that. Yeah, maybe a child who's learning how to drink out of a sippy cup.
Sippy cup. And even that, like, I would be down for having a sippy cup because maybe that would help me walk. But then again, I'm 27, so I don't.
They have those weird like tumblers now that are made for wine that have sippy cups on them, like sippy covers.
I think I've seen those.
Because so that way ladies can walk around and just.
Hey, that could be
Without
me,
spilling.
Just for me and water.
Yeah, people are like, oh, what you drinking, vodka? Water.
Just water, because I can't drink it alone.
I feel like we just spent 10 minutes on this.
We did.
Okay, so what were you saying?
What was I saying? Like
you were
the capacity.
Capacity.
Yeah, so it was so nice, especially since Disney abolished fast passes. So that was weird. That was really weird because I'm so used to, like the fast pass line was completely abandoned, and they did physical distancing in all of the queues. So it's 6 feet apart. So the first day.
No, is that for parties or individual people? Like you had to be 6 feet away from every single one of your family members.
For parties. So if you're with your party, you can stay on like one strip.
I'll say that would not be feasible for people with kids.
I know. Like because we had 6 people in our group, and for us to we take up so much of the line. But
I'm gonna say you take up the whole queue of Rock and Roller Coaster.
Yeah, I was about to say. So our first ride that we wanted to go on was Rock and Roller Coaster. We went down Sunset Boulevard, and the line to Rock and Roller Coaster was wrapping by those bathrooms that would lead you to Tower of Terror.
What?
And my jaw dropped. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I thought this was supposed to be like a really,
I mean, it's probably
low crowd level day.
It's probably fast at the same speed because you still put the same amount of people in the rides.
Yeah.
But it's just to get the queue is just longer, so it shouldn't theoretically slow the ride down unless they were distancing the rides.
When we finally got on, no, it was like BAU. It was business as usual, getting people into the limo. But cast members now, they have like these big, like almost herding.
Well, that's always nice to hear.
Yeah, like
they got cattle prongs. You move. This is my
D or like a Mickey silhouette.
This is my new Disney emblem right here. What is it? It's just a spear.
I wasn't listening to them to move in the line, and they just stuck.
Oh, did they? What? Because people actually do that. They like that was a thing for like football players too. They would take like irons and like imprint like a symbol on them.
Wow.
Branding. Yeah.
Yeah, branding.
So it's like, what's your Disney branding? Is it a Mickey head? What is it? Is it a castle? No, it's just a pointy end of a poker.
Yeah. But honestly, they dispensed with all of the ride pre-shows. So it's basically one constant line. You are constantly moving.
So you don't get to listen to Steven Tyler?
Nope. So they just have just the instrumental version of Walk This Way, and you walk straight through. So even though the line was backed up to the Hollywood Tower Hotel restrooms, it was literally a 30-minute wait because you would not stop walking. It was really nice. We just had to get that in our brains because that's how it is now with social distance queues.
Yes.
It seems much longer than it really is, and they completely streamlined the line process. So there aren't any pre-shows on any of the rides, at least when we went. Isn't that crazy? I sort of
This
like
goes back
the pre-show
goes
rides.
back to what Pete was saying from the Diz Unplugged.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys haven't seen the Diz Unplugged, check them out. They're one of my favorite Disney podcasts and YouTube channels. The Diz Unplugged, like they have a whole subsection of different stuff they put out. But one of the things is it's just like that's what he was saying. Like they keep taking things away, and it's like okay, so you can go on the rides, but we're taking away some of the fun of the entertainment of the ride and the experience. So it's like part of the fun of doing Rock and Roller Coaster was the little video.
Yeah, and I hate to burst your bubble. They did the same thing in Haunted Mansion. So no more extending gazebo or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah, you just walk right through, right to your doom buggy.
What the?
I know, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. As the number one ghost host.
What the junkers is this?
I know.
Do you know which one? Is it Disneyland or Disney World? Which one? I know what it is. Do you know which one the ceiling actually extends or you go down? Do you know which one it is?
So the one in Walt Disney World, the ceiling extends.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So here's the thing. So they got rid of the videos,
Yep.
and then they got rid of
The pre-show.
the pre-show. The
And
fast passes they also got rid of.
Yep.
Dang.
I know. So of course you have to wear masks all the time. With it being in January.
Oh, I forgot to ask you.
Yeah.
So when you went, did they? If you guys don't know, they got rid of magic bands. So with your trip, you got no new magic bands, right?
No, but with us, my family has gone 2 or 3 times a year for the past 10 years in a row. So we have a ton of magic bands that are still active. So we just reused some from our previous trips.
Yeah, I think I might end up buying some new ones because it's like, oh, well, if I don't get them and I have to pay for them.
Yeah.
Because I think we have some, but it's like, oh, what the heck? You know what?
It's only $5. And if you
Well,
want like
the one-
special ones, are like
Well, that's the
10 or
whole thing. We're
15.
gonna get special. I'm gonna order special ones. So it's
I
like,
figure why not?
I'll get special ones. I'll get like Jack Skellington for me.
Yeah,
I might get like Elsa for my daughter.
nice.
I don't know. So it's like one of those things. Like, well, if I'm gonna spend the money,
Might as well.
I might as well have some fun with
Yeah,
it.
because I know that Allison is gonna get one for our June trip, and I'm probably gonna stay with my orange one that I took to January. So
You guys gotta do something fun. Come on.
I know I'm yeah. Good point. Maybe you might convince me to get a
Get a couple
special
one.
magic pen.
Get a couple.
Oh boy, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I'd like that.
You could. What's that couple that everybody loves? Carl.
Carl and
What the heck is her name?
Eunice. No, I'm just kidding. It's not Eunice.
It's not Eunice.
Emmy. Emma?
I don't know her name. I don't like Up.
What?
But you like how?
I loved your delivery on that.
Don't you agree? Like I think that'd be like they're like everybody loves that couple because they're
Yeah.
such.
Yeah. We could be.
And I subtly said, kill her without him knowing. I mean, granted, you would have a whole life with her, but like that's the whole premise.
Right.
But
Back to that. Here we go.
But then you would at least know how it would end. Too dark.
True, but the whole for me, I like to guess. I don't like to know. I don't like it to be predetermined for me to know when I'm gonna die or what's gonna happen.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So they got rid of that.
Yeah, so I was gonna say in January, the average like high in temperature was probably like maybe 68, and then the average low was probably 42. So the masks were not a huge issue just because they kept my face warm and like I wasn't getting all sweaty to where like it would get all soppy. So they were a bit of a nuisance, but like it didn't detract from the trip. I just really wish that come summertime when we go again, they'll take that away. I don't know, it'll be tight.
Well, you're gonna be going in June, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be hit or miss for you.
Exactly.
Like, I'm hoping on kind of the other end because we're going in like the middle of September.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping it's like, I mean, it's still warm, but I'm hoping like we're hopefully gonna get away from like that, July, August heat.
Yep, exactly. So
What about, so going there,
yeah.
what about the other things? Like when you did quick services, and things like that. Like you can do more. I know it's all more mobile ordering now. Do they stagger those out even more to keep people away from those areas?
Sure. So when I was going into the parks, I realized that not all quick service restaurants were open. Yeah, so it was sort of like Casey's Corners.
Yeah, I don't really care about
My
that.
favorite Magic Kingdom.
If I'm going to spend $25, it's not going to be on a hot dog.
The Chicago Slaw Dog. You guys know what I'm talking about. That thing was delicious.
I'm just saying, people, if you're going to spend a lot of money on some food, you can get a hot dog somewhere else. No, I'm just saying I feel there's better quick services than just a hot dog. But I don't like hot dogs. If I want something, if I want a form of a sausage, it's going to be like a brat or like
a little juicier, a little thicker.
Something that's not as processed.
I got you. But still, Casey's Corners was temporarily closed.
Oh, jeez.
And there were other ones that I was like, oh, come on now. But mobile order was okay. Now, I think Disney's still working out some bugs for the system because there were some times when it was saying, oh, mobile order is temporarily unavailable for you. And I had to like fully log out of the app, reboot it, re-sign in like 5 separate times for it to finally work.
Holy smokes.
And especially when like you want to eat now, it's like, okay, honestly, like come on. Yeah. So every quick service restaurant, every snack cart, everything, it's mobile order.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah. So, and honestly, especially if you wanted to eat in the resorts, like the first 5 nights, my family stayed at Old Key West. So I wanted to eat at Olivia's.
Yep.
So I remember one night, well, I think dine-in was available, but my family didn't want to go. They didn't want to eat inside. So I'm like, okay, I'll just mobile order their shrimp pesto pasta.
Your family doesn't watch this podcast, right?
They don't.
Okay. Just go on a trip with me, dude, and we'll go and we'll eat.
I'd love that. Let's make it happen. 2022.
We'll make the Disney trip just us going to restaurants.
Honestly, I could not be happier. Like, that would be an amazing trip.
Allison would hate it because she hates food, apparently.
No, she loves food. It's just she's a little more conservative when it comes to her palate. Let's just say that.
So that means she hates food. She's picky.
Her taste buds need to be opened up to a whole new world, and I'm working on that.
No.
She's been doing a great job. Baby steps.
Baby steps.
We're getting there. We still got a lot of time.
I actually like Allison. She seems like a very nice girl.
Good. I'm glad the truth is seeping out.
I like that she was. I like that she was not trying to protect you from me, which is good.
Oh yeah.
Good. So I like that she knew that like my job is to harass you, and
okay with that.
which is good.
Everybody likes a little razz every now and then.
Yeah.
But Olivia's, I got the pesto salad, but it was to go, and I had it inside our 3-bedroom villa, and it was like maybe $25. It was really good, but I'm like, I love the experience of eating inside like a Disney resort restaurant.
Yeah.
So that's what I feel like I was missing out on. I would not order it again over mobile order just to eat it in my room.
Yeah.
So again, Olivia's like was open for dine-in. It was just my family in this instance, but it was nice to have that convenience of, oh, I can still get Olivia's stuff through mobile order.
Olivia's, I hear, is actually really good. My in-laws went there and they really liked it.
I heard they have phenomenal brunch. Like they have really good breakfast menu.
Yeah, I can't remember that. Let me see here. Do they have only brunch?
No, they have brunch, lunch, and dinner.
They have brunch, lunch, and dinner, huh?
Yeah.
All right, that sounds good.
Yeah. And then what else was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So I was initially really bummed when we decided to go in that specific week of January because it was literally the week before Festival of the Arts would start.
Yeah.
At Epcot. And not only do they bring in awesome Disney fine artists with, all of their art, but also they put up food kiosks for you to try.
It's gone, wasn't it?
No.
Oh.
So
they didn't get rid of that.
Like a twist.
What? I'm so surprised.
Like a Disney twist. They actually canceled the Disney Marathon weekend and pushed Festival of the Arts a week earlier than it would normally be. So I got to be able to experience that in Epcot.
I'm
which is a ton of fun.
surprised. So do you think that means they're gonna bring back
Yeah.
Food and Wine?
Yep.
Are you sure?
And they're doing Flower and Garden.
Wait, no, you're.
Yeah, no, I'm not kidding.
Wait, they told you they're bringing back Food
Yep.
and Wine.
And he's going in September.
I'm going when Food and Wine is happening.
Dude.
And you're sure?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, now I know that's gonna be big.
Hopefully
Jazz.
later this year I'll snag another trip down just to do Food and Wine, because as a foodie, I love going to those kiosks.
And you said now you and Allison are gonna be going in June,
Yep.
which means Flower and Garden is
Yes.
gonna still be going on.
Yes, so that's going to start early March. It's going to go all the way through early July. So
Okay.
excited for that.
Now, did you get a chance to check out the newest Disney ride?
Oh, yes. Yeah, in Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Now, I held off on watching any YouTube video walkthroughs. I wanted to experience it in person. There's a lot to unpack there. So,
Try to make it quick,
Right.
Because we have a lot more to get through.
exactly. So, the ride, in terms of the movement...
And don't give it away because
Right.
I'm going.
Yeah, so the ride in terms of the movement is very reminiscent of Rise of the Resistance. It's
Interesting.
yeah, so they basically have these high-powered magnets that take you through a story.
Okay, because I almost saw it as something kind of like, I guess I don't know what they would have done. Because I almost saw it as something that would be like Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger spin. You know, kind of
Oh.
like that. Like you sit in a cart and it takes you through different scenes.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it would be.
Yeah,
So it's not a dark ride. They didn't change it into another dark ride? Or would you say it's dark ride-esque?
yeah, it's dark ride-esque. So you know how when Disney renovates some rides, they keep like a skeleton and you can like sort of remember how the old ride went?
Yeah.
In this case, you don't. And I think it's because there's a lot of things happening that is just like assaulting your eyes, because like there's a lot of movement, there's a lot of color, there's a lot of animation. Like, it's superb the way that they have created this ride.
No,
okay?
it's all based off of the new animation style.
Yeah, the new look of the Mickey
Okay.
Mouse shorts.
Yeah.
So, they really do a good job at like immersing you. Like, it's basically you step into your TV screen and you're going on this adventure with them. But the ride, it's almost like they had a time limitation. So like, let's try to get in as much as possible, to where basically the ride is like, you know, you're on Goofy's train and all of a sudden, you know, you go off the tracks and then like you go to different parts of like the Mickey Mouse world. You go under the sea, you go to a carnival, you go into a tornado. Like, there's so many, like you even do like a dancing class with Daisy. So there's so many things that just don't really connect, to where it just seems like it's just a high octane ride full of fun. So it's definitely a ride that I think lacks longevity in my opinion. It's not like a staple ride where I see this staying for years and years in Hollywood Studios. Like, it
Well, it's definitely going to stay for years and years because they just did this.
yeah, like, but it just it feels like an interim ride,
So,
honestly.
so you don't feel like it's going to be like the Great Movie Ride that was
No.
like this lasted, 20 some odd years.
No, I don't see it having the acclaim. I think the acclaim is coming from like the technology for the ride, but the ride itself, it's very lackluster when it comes to like story, because Disney's really good at like setting up a story and telling a story in their rides. This one is just like a hodgepodge of like different scenes that doesn't really make sense.
So they just do a bunch of animation.
Mickey Mouse shorts, and
Yeah.
you're just like, okay, I'm like, okay, where am I now? Why are they here? And there's like no real explanation.
I'm a little disappointed
It seems
now.
wacky. It seems crazy. I mean, again, I love the technology. I love the art style. So I'm a huge fan of that. In terms of the ride, it sort of lacked that Disney like care in terms of setting up a story, taking you through like the actual arcs. So
That sucks.
I know I was a little disappointed, but I would still recommend riding it just once, just to say you did. Because yeah, the animatronics, the technology. That
How
they put in.
fast was the ride? Is that like I could bring my whole family on that ride?
Yes,
Okay.
I would.
Even the 1-year-old.
So it is a little jerky, but with the magnets, they do make it a little bit smooth.
I meant, there's no height restriction on that? Or...
Oh, I don't think there is. No.
Okay.
No. Yeah. So it's definitely a ride for all ages in the family. But definitely, I would have preferred them to just update the Great Movie Ride, add in some different, scenes of classic movies
or what are now considered classics.
Yeah, or like newer movies instead of creating this brand new one. And honestly, like, it was interesting because, of course, inside Grauman's, they do have that still Oriental Grauman's look. But as you get deeper into the line or the queue, it's like all of a sudden there's like you get slammed and then you're inside this Mickey Mouse short. It's like Goofy pretty much rammed a train into a side wall of the Grauman's Chinese theater, and then it's like all of a sudden like you're in Oz, like you're transported into like this animated world. So it's a very harsh transition.
So lazy.
Yeah.
So lazy.
Yeah. So I wasn't blown away by the ride, and it sort of left me wanting more to say, okay, you spent this long making this kind of ride. I was expecting a lot more from that, unfortunately. So that's enough I have to say about the new ride.
So what about shopping? How were the stores?
So shopping wasn't bad. They did have a queue for the stores. Of course, you need to get like a certain, capacity limit. So there were a couple of times during like peak hours of the parks to where it's like you had to actually stand outside and there was a cast member that was like counting people to step in. Yeah. So I didn't have to wait a whole time. Again, I think the biggest things were when we had to go to Epcot for like the individual art booths, because those are smaller, they don't have as many people, so those had longer lines than any like store inside Magic Kingdom or anything like that. So again, not really that much of an issue, but it's sort of par for course with COVID. So.
Yeah. Okay, that's not too bad. So what about some of the other parks? How was the Magic Kingdom? How was Epcot?
So all were great. I loved the fact that we could park hop after 2. I think that really helped. Animal Kingdom actually wasn't that bad, especially with Pandora. Like, we tried to get there super early to ride Flight of Passage, and still a lot of people went to that ride, hot off the gun, and that was only a 30-minute wait, even though we were literally,
that's not bad.
The line was outside of Pandora on the way to that bridge that would take you into Africa. Like, we were far out. But it was still 30 minutes, so don't be dissuaded to wait in a line that's like blockbuster sort of size. It's just because it's social distance and you'll keep moving. And then I was gonna say something else. Magic Kingdom was great.
Yep.
Of course, that's like the most popular park, and it again, walking down Main Street, it reminded me of one of my first trips back in like the late 90s, before like Disney got that huge boom. Yeah, like you could walk for, well, not miles, but there were a lot of spacing between people. I felt really safe down there. Like, not only did the cast members respect COVID guidelines, but also the other guests, which was very nice. And then Epcot, I think again it was a little more popular because of Festival of the Arts. But again, I just loved the crowd control and the crowd level. Yeah. And even though it was super hard to get a boarding pass at Rise of Resistance in Hollywood Studios, the nice thing was, like, at 1 p.m., if you were inside the park, they give you another shot to get it later on in the day. And so before COVID hit, you had to be in the park at rope drop to be able to get a boarding group. Now you just have to log into your My Disney Experience app anywhere on property.
Nice.
And get it. So that's nice.
That'll make it much easier.
Yes, but we never seemed to get it, even though we all had like our phones out and ready. Like 5 people had their phones out. We never got a boarding pass until 1 p.m. We would try again, we would get it. So don't be disheartened if you don't get it in the morning. More will be available to you after 1 p.m. and usually that's when it's lighter, and you can get one at like maybe 4 or 5 p.m. So.
Was there anything else on the trip that you wanted to add to this?
No, it's just that this trip left me wanting to go back, and I was worried about that with COVID. I was like, will this sort of detract from my memories of this vacation? do I want to hold off on Disney until, COVID's more under control? I mean, as of right now, I think it was just a perfect blend of like the temperature, the time I went, the crowd levels, the safety requirements. It was a phenomenal trip. I loved it. I wanted to stay there more as always. But what I actually want to do in my next trip is I actually want to do a split stay. I actually want to do a Disney cruise and then maybe finish up with a couple days in the parks.
Ooh.
So that is once Disney is doing cruises. I know that they have postponed like their April and May cruises of 2021 and looking to get into the summer ones. But that's something that I want to do now, is because I also remembered how much I miss a Disney cruise, because I've been on 4 cruises ever since 2013. I sort of want to go back again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm done with that.
Yeah.
All right, I think we are good to go.
Okay, yeah, I think it was a good wrap up. Again, don't want to get too wordy, but there's a lot of fun things still at Disney World, so let us know if you guys are planning on going in 2021. It is the 50th anniversary after all.
Yeah.
So
you're going this year again. I'm going this year in September.
Yes.
Where it's going to be fun times. Can't wait. All right, you guys. Once again, if you haven't yet, hit that like button, subscribe button. You want to do that. Super easy. Takes no time.
Help us grow this podcast.
All right, you guys. You have a fun one. We will see you next time. And Greg, where's the one place people can get their Disney fix?
So glad you asked that, Chris. Here, this is your only place to get your Disney fix.
Peace.